Ali, a U.S. State Department official tells CNN that U.S. hikers Josh Fatal and Shane Bauer have indeed been freed from Tehran's Evin prison. Now, we were told a few minutes ago by our producer in Tehran that Swiss embassy officials and Omani government officials were seen entering the prison just a short while ago. We've now been heard that they have been freed. We don't know exactly where they're going next, but there's a lot of speculation that their first stop, once they leave Iran, whenever that is, will be here in Oman. We're in Muscat because last year, when the hiker Sarah Shord was released, who had been imprisoned along with Josh Fatal and Shane Bauer, when she was released, her first stop out of Tehran was here in Muscat. The reason for that being that the Omanis had paid her bail. A lot of speculation that the Omanis have been intricately involved in negotiating the release of Josh Fatal and Shane Bauer. No confirmation yet from the Omanis on that point, but we do know that Omani officials were seen going into the prison, and we do now know from a U.S. State Department official that those two hikers have been freed. Ali?
Mohammed, about the conditions of their release. This is it's a bail that under which they may be called back for trial. I can't imagine they're ever going to go back to Iran, but is that actually part of the condition of their release?
We don't yet know all the conditions of the release. We know the bail has been posted. That's according to the lawyer and according to two judges who signed off that the bail had been posted. We were told by the lawyer last week that the bail was at $500,000 for each person, so that puts it at $1 million in bail money. The conditions of the bail for the release of Sarah Shord, even though she was released on humanitarian grounds, was that she could be called back for trial. She was released on humanitarian grounds, but she could be called back to proceed with that trial. She was not called back. Conventional wisdom would have it that they would not be called back, that this would be seen as a humanitarian gesture, a magnanimous gesture by the Iranian government, but we just don't know at this time, and we don't yet know if the sentence will be commuted. There was speculation in the last few days the sentence would be commuted or they would be given some kind of amnesty. Right now, all we know is that the bail money went through, they have been released, and we're awaiting the emergence of more details soon to come. Ali?
All right, and again, they were convicted of spying, so they continue to maintain they had nothing to do with spying, and the Iranians continue to maintain that they were spies. That is not being settled by their release. There is no change in what the Iranian government thinks about these guys. So what's the basis of the release?
Well, last week, the indication from Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was that this would be seen as a humanitarian gesture. A lot of analysts were saying, you know, this was a good move for Ahmadinejad to make sure that they were released, just as he had made sure that Sarah Shord was released, because he was about to go to the UNGA in New York, and it would really raise his stature on the world stage, and it would make him seem magnanimous. And also, he was indicating that if more American prisoners were released in Iran, then possibly Iranian prisoners who were in jails in the U.S. should be released as some sort of quid pro quo. That having been said, though, the judiciary, Iranian officials have all maintained throughout the week that, you know, these charges still stand, that they were convicted of espionage. There were many allegations by the Iranians that they were part of the CIA, that they were spying, and that's what they were convicted of. They had an 8-year prison sentence that was doled out just this past month. So even though this is seen as a humanitarian gesture, as we said before, right now these charges still stand, the convictions still stand. Whether or not at some point that sentence might be commuted, we just don't know. But right now, yes, the conviction stands. They are seen as two people who were convicted of spying, who crossed into Iranian territory for the purposes of espionage.
All right, Mohammed, thank you very much.